dumpster fire burns wild. Chaos, shenanigans at every corner. Sarcasm, a holy sermon in style. Dark chocolate, melted chaos warmer. Fighting this timeline with snark. Every soul welcome but no recorders. Baptized by laughter in the dark. We stand tall, scorning fake orders. In the church of Mo we rise, with chaos and shenanigans bright. Chocolate and sarcasm uprise. Together we light up the night.
Lovely morning to you all. Now, I know that not all of you have a glamorous Possum morning every morning, but me and Gigi here are going to go through our tutorial on how to have not only a spiritually good morning, but a beautifully glamorous good morning. Now, let's address the zebra in the room. Most people don't have marsupial friendly, cleaning products and beauty glamorous products. We don't test on our possums. We try to get cruelty free. If you go into Sephora, just take your possum. You want to get them correct shaded. They do tend to be on the paler side, so it is a bit hard to find foundation. Now, hair extensions for your possum. I don't know if we've gone over these before, but we want to find natural hair extensions, and do listen to your possum about what colors they like. Always be sure to respect your possum's choices. Their identity is both beautiful and brave. How does this woman do this without cracking herself up? Honestly, y'all, can we talk about just this hair? Because I have at least 2 questions, and I feel like I'm going to get pulled over for shooting JR and or a Sally Field impression. I'm like, they like me. They really like me. Y'all, I feel like I should be on Dynasty or somewhere where there's dramatic pauses. It's, Mr. Mo was like, I still like it better than a pixie cut. And I was like, no, you could have come home to this in the 80s. Also, how did y'all wear hats? Like, did you just rest them atop your head? A serious question. Because I don't know how anyone wore a baseball hat in the 80s. But as I was saying, now, Vidal Sassoon is very comforting. Do check with your marsupial beauty, consultants before giving your possum a hot oil treatment. They have very gentle skin. Now, my possum is getting her maternity shoot. It's a glorious time. She's a bit of a... Well, let's just say, when you get a little Lambrusco in her, she's a bit of a tart. Now, it's important to discuss contraceptive choices with your possum before they get tarted up. As a possum parent, abstinence is always the best choice, and we did try to have that talk. But, like her mom, you get a bunch of, you get a little wine in you and things happen. We always love our blessings. Now, this is not only about, our beautiful outside, but our beautiful inside. And I want to show you how I start each morning. Now, most spiritualists will tell you to start with sage because we want to get things out. But for those of us who are really keyed in and want to get the negativity out of our lives, well, we happen to have the claymation head of a certain Massachusetts lawyer. And we just say, by the laurel, by the laurel, by the laurel. And by summoning the negative spirit of Hank Brennan, we are able to get all the negativity into the Brennan head. Now, sage will work sometimes, but if you got a real cunty infestation, only the Brennan head will do. Trademark coming to merch stores near you. Spend your money, send your tributes. You know, I keep wanting to go and just tell people I have Grey Poupon. I feel like the most bougie 80s woman I have ever met. And in an off note, I'm pretty sure my grandma had this jacket. And had I known, because my grandma was classy and she had the, clip-on earrings that would go with this and the necklace. Had I known that I was going to need these in my new life, I would have kept them. So you're telling me you don't have a Hank Brennan head at home? Now, why is that? Have you ever stopped to consider that maybe all of life's problems were caused and end with Hank Brennan? I don't know. But the zebra in the room, is that if you're a dick, maybe don't look like an asshole. But that's enough possum positivity. So after we've cleared the channels of negativity, we then have to practice positivity. And I like to think of things that I positively will no longer accept. Like, when your possum tries to run away. Now, usually you can fix this with a light application of chloroform. Now, chloroform is not sold at your local marsupial store. It is, I think, able to make it if you go on the interwebs, allegedly in Minecraft. And honestly, this is one of the more normal pets I've had. I did also talk to Dylan Mulvaney. But now, you want to make sure that your hair has the lovely bounce of at least 3 cans of Raid. Now, you want to get volume, and I'm talking you want Tammy Faye Baker. We're looking for Country Music Awards, Tammy Wynette. And so you're going to need one of these. Now, if you have not seen one of these are called a rat tail. And you just take your hunk of hair right here, and you just want to back curl that, back, tease it. Now, this might make your hair just a touch rough, but ain't nobody going to touch your hair. It is the volume. If your hair does not have volume, how are you protected? Also, going to the salon weekly is good. After my husband and I divorced, after I found him with that lying bitch Luann, he has been keeping me in weekly salon visits at Elizabeth Arden. It does help when you prepare yourself with a great lawyer. So if you happen to catch your lying, cheating, stealing ex-husband with a Luann, be sure to have a lawyer and keep receipts. You know, out there somewhere she has an ex-husband who just cries. Just cries. Yes. Again, ladies, I have a question. What was the goal here? Was it to make your head huger and then your face look skinnier? I feel like, and I'm Connie Chung with the Nighttime News. Back to you with the Lifetime movie, She Couldn't Run Away, featuring Meredith Baxter Birney. I could be Judith Light in She Couldn't Tell. I want to be on Designing Women and I look like I shot JR. This is just upsetting. Also, I may or may not have sent my mom this picture with me in the curlers and the possum apropos of nothing. So I expect my Baker Act wellness check to be coming any minute. So this is a gift and grift away. So I do have some stuff. Mr. Mo is ecstatic because I've been getting crafty stuff to give away, and it's just been hanging out in various storage things because we decided then to fix my room up. So I do have this crinkle, ASMR crinkle, but it is a fun little mushroom house cottage cross stitch set or kit. So it comes with everything you need. Obviously not like the frame, but it comes with all the string. Now, I will tell you that I tend to run out of colors, but that's because I'm chaotic. In theory, if you are like really, really organized, you can get through the entire kit with the thread that they give you. I'm just letting y'all know that it has never been a reality in my life that I've done that completely. Then we have this fish one, very cool, and Legos. Now, obviously, they're not really Legos, but they are a type of Lego. I went a little nuts on Black Friday last year. I am not going to lie, these things have been here since last year. So I have those, and we have some video clips all about possums because, good Lord, y'all, we needed a laugh. Yeah, my mom is just like, what? And I was like, I'm doing a fun stream because I had to do this horrible trial all week. And she's like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand, but I'm happy that you're happy. You know, that weird thing where people are like, maybe she'll grow out of it. Thank you so much, Kay Wood. Yeah, so this is just going to be a fun stream. Honestly, it's going to be a break for all of us to have fun and laugh. And if Possum Lady happens to catch the first little bit, I'm going to make a little video. Then, and she wants to collab one day because that would be hilarious. I'll take my fake possum. Now, okay, you guys, there was an option to get this possum, obviously, without the hair extensions. Thank you so much, JKD Buck. Mo Pearl, I know. I will say that I I have never felt so close to my grandmother. She had brunette hair and this particular hairstyle. So my mother was like, what are you doing and why? Which is not something she hasn't had to question. I was youngest, most feral child when I was younger. I just didn't realize it. Audio coffee, I don't know. It's been weird, but I figured we all needed a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of something beyond the terribleness. I'm doing a grift and gift. So I am going to be doing the first. Now, this is a larger kit, so it might take you a longer time, but I do find cross stitch really, really relaxing. So I figured maybe you guys would like it too. If you don't like it, I understand. I'm going to try to get these shipped out this week. So, did you wear a wig to dinner? No, I did. I actually went out with my normal hair for our anniversary lunch, but I'd redded it up, so people were still confused. And of course, if you have a possum, your cat is going to get confused. Actually, Loki is just up here because he likes to eat my wigs. He is jealous. He is a jealous little butt. So he likes to come and make sure he likes to eat my wig. My wigs. So he's over here. Also, I have the heater on in my chair. So all the cats love my chair. They're like, it's heated. We love it. Oh, and we like you. We like you. But we also like your heater. So if you have, a cat who gets a little jealous and territorial over wigs, hide your wigs and make sure he stays out of your closet.
And make sure he doesn't be a dum-dum.
Thank you for that, youngest, most feral. Thank you. Oh, no, no. Look, the cats begrudgingly let me brush them because they have more fur than an entire tribe of Chewbaccas. Here I thought, y'all, I thought that my house was going to look awesome because we are changing all of our very beautiful vintage contractor grade Berber carpet. Don't be peanut butter and jealous. Thank you, K-Matt Red Queen. We're changing all that with the vinyl. So I thought my floor is going to look beautiful. It's going to look so much better than, the carpet that looks like it's got leprosy because my children can't keep food off my carpets. So here I am thinking that we need more wigs and puppets to show off Story and Shenanigans. Yes. So here I'm thinking, okay, like I'm going to look, as you can see, floating through the air, just remnants of cat Chewbacca fur. So I try to brush them at least once a week to keep the fur. And they would like to attack me for doing such. You'd think that as their furless servant, as their, emotional support human, they would be good with me, lavishing care upon them. No, you'd think that it was like boys. Oh no, I have a story. It of course contains the youngest, most feral. Would you like to hear the story of the cat fur beard? Yes, it is an actual story. This did in fact happen to me. Because of course it did, and it's the youngest, most feral, so of course he did. So about when I first got hurt was 4 years ago, and youngest, most feral was around 6. Now, youngest, most feral has, oddly enough, somewhat matured despite stories from him. Or about him. He has matured just a little bit. But right when I first got hurt, I went from having, I took Tylenol once in a while, but not much. I went to having no medication to being on some pretty heavy duty medications. And with one of them, it would basically put me to sleep completely. So when I would take those, when I was home by myself before he went to school, he couldn't go outside. Well, this was a weekend and his dad, I think, was still doing drill. And I told him, I was like, I'm sorry. I know you want to go outside right now and play, but I'm not feeling good. And you need to stay here in my room so that, because I'm tired, you can play on your pad. You can watch a movie or whatever, but I need you to stay here. And then I fell asleep. I mean, I could hear him, like the mom at bat ears where you can hear the iPad and, general moving around. So I'm asleep and Mr. Mo must have come home and he comes in and he's like, what the hell did you do to the cat? And at this point I am wondering, because I start to wake up and there is a pile of cat fur on my face and neck. Orange. Cat fur. And a cat, Loki, has a big old bald patch. Yeah, you're laughing. That was not funny. Well, my son had decided that since he could not go outside, it would be fun to try arts and crafts of the cat fur variety. So he had given me a cat fur ginger beard in my sleep, as you do. And I'm over here trying to figure out, before I figured this out, because I'm over here like, what in the hell did I do? I'm like, holy crap, this is going to be this is going to be my snapped episode. I'm like, shit, I just started watching Trials, and here I am sleepwalking, shaving the cats. No one's going to believe this crap. I'm going to have a defense, and they're going to lock me up in jail. Like, who's going to believe that I fell asleep and gave myself a cat burr, beard? So I am legitimately trying to figure out if I need to send myself to the hospital due to my, Ed Gein variety arts and crafts. And my husband says, do you think the boy did it? And I was like, why would he cut the hair off a cat to give me a beard? He's like, I don't know. Why would you do that? And I realized then that yes, it was probably the youngest, most feral. Because he said, yeah, I gave you a beard. You was asleep. As if that was the normal thing to do. Like if your mother happens to nap and tells you to play quietly, the first thing you would do would be, remove the cat's, top layer of fur to give her a beard.
I cannot remember that.
It's a good thing I remember stuff.
That was like 6 years ago, probably.
4 years. Yes. So, yeah. So I know that abstinence programs aren't a big thing in school, but I'm seriously considering leasing out Youngest Most Feral as a pro-abstinence teaching tool, if you will. Learning device. Yes, this is a wig. No, I did not do this to my hair. Although... Yeah, so if you have ever, been asleep as a mom and woken up to a cat fur beard, then you know what my life has been like and why this might be considered a comedic outlet for me. As per usual. Now, I found this particular creator and he is hilarious and also scientific. So he is going to tell us all about the not dead possums, for our possumiest, posthumous possumiest video.
How dead is this opossum? Why do some snakes do this? Are they drunk? And will this opossum live to see another day? You're about to find out.
Probably not.
I know what you're thinking. Wouldn't want to meet one of those in a dark alley.
Yes, legitimately. Okay, look, I'm terrified of a lot of nature animals because I am pretty sure I was an evil, deranged taxidermist in a past life, and I did horrible things to woodland creatures, and they hate me. I've had squirrels cut my brake lines. I've had a deer injure me.
The deer that broke your...
So tangentially, I just realized that whatever I did in a past life to animals, I should not be around them. I seem to be okay with cats. They seem to like me, but wild woodland creatures, no. So I don't know what I did in a past life. I don't know if I had an entire freezer full of possums and squirrels. I don't know, but kindly, the Mo in the past life that hurt you isn't the Mo of this lifetime. Stop punishing her. I don't know what she did to you, but please, look, I will stay in my inside area. How about you guys just not, tamper with my brakes again? Legitimately, squirrels ate through my brakes. So, I don't know what I did to you woodland creatures, but I apologize.
Oh, you need a nice bright alley so you can get a good look at that face. Looks like a number 2 pencil got busy with a werewolf got busy with a werewolf. But opossums like this one, Jerry, punctuation. But opossums like this one are lovers, not fighters. And when I say opossum, I mean the ones in the Americas in the order Didelphimorphia, not the possums that live in Australia. Very different animals. Way to screw things up, Australia. There are 126 species of opossum, but only
Wait a
one...
minute. There's 126 species of possum?
Wait, what was that?
I want them to like me, but apparently they want to cut my brake lines. Now, according to the Ford dealership, apparently there's a special coating on the wiring in newer cars that smells really good to squirrels. And I was like, good. So the squirrels were hungry, not vindictive, will be on my tombstone.
One lives in North America, the Virginia opossum. But down south, there's a woolly opossum, a big-ear opossum, fat-tailed, short-tailed...
Oh, no, that is... No.
6 species of opossum, but only one lives in North America, the Virginia opossum. But down south, there's a woolly opossum, a big-ear opossum...
No, this looked like a rat that was near Fukushima. I'm gonna need...
Near Chernobyl.
Rat near Chernobyl. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, is that like a hairless possum? Look, I like cats, but the hairless ones are they're not my jam.
Some fat-tailed, short-tailed, even a 4-eyed opossum. But you'll notice none of them are called the 2-headed opossum. It wouldn't help distinguish them, because in all these species, the males have a 2-headed penis. Now, I can show you one, but only...
Move away. I do have earbuds in, so youngest most feral cannot hear what is being said, but figured the birds and the bees talk of possums might wait for later when I'm not in a wig dressed up as Dynasty.
Only if you show me the one you're imagining first. All right, we'll do a drawing. How's that? Now, the opossum penis is like the double-barrel shotgun of the penis world. Split down the middle and each side connect.
Is this why Pearl got into possums? Is this the real reason that Pearl... I'm sure there's a section of the hub that has possum-related content. I'm just not going to look there. Like Blue Waffle, I'm just never going to look.
To its own testicle. 2 shots. Surprisingly, science tells us this is not designed for nasal sex, but rather for the 2 vaginas and 2 uteruses that female opossums have up in their business. Now, the signs that opossums are actually quite agreeable start early. Take a look at this opossum sperm. Jerry, those are pool noodles. Thank you. I know what you're thinking. 2-headed penis, 2-tailed sperm makes sense. But those are actually 2 individual sperm cells that came together inside the male opossum when 2 sperm cells...
Okay, it is a joke, but I often tell Mr. Mo that Youngest Most Feral is a product of 2 of his boy parts coming together, and I just house that because Youngest Most Feral is like 990% his father's. I need a maternity test for that child. Like, he came out and it was like, oh, yeah, you're his. They were like, were you there? Anywhere? So I claim that this is not, a new thing. This happened with my last child. So sounds true.
meet. They will often rotate around each other until...
You know what? Maybe Pearl didn't have like a cheating lying sack of crap husband. Maybe she simply had a feral boy child that turned her around the bend. And she was like, you know what? I did what I could. I'm going to raise possums now. Because I could kind of see that happening. It makes more sense now that I think about it. She had 3 feral boy children. And she was done at the end. She was done. She's like, I just can't have nice things.
They line up in a particular way, which causes the heads to stick together. But more importantly, for their tails to start beating in synchrony. When they start to do that, the pair can swim straighter and faster with less energy than if they were alone. And single
men working
unpaired
together on
sperm have a
directions?
tendency to swim in circles. In any case, when a pair reaches an egg cell, they split apart, shake hands, and may the best sperm win sort of thing. This sort of collaboration happens in quite a number of animals. Here's bull sperm, for example. Here's ant sperm. Looks like two sperm gangs are about to rumble. The science hippies call it forming a sperm train. It's a good title for a movie. Buddy comedy. Two best friends wind up falling in love with the same girl. Or
I'd watch that movie. It'd have to be better than Sausage Party. I mean, honestly, that movie was awful, god awful. Seth Rogen should honestly have the fact that the entire viewing audience didn't make a class action lawsuit against Seth Rogen and every actor who helped make that abomination, you know, is a sign of our generosity and lack of motivation to do things.
something like, many get on board, but only one will arrive. Sperm train, coming soon. No, too obvious. Anyway, when one of these little bastards finally gets inside of an egg cell, that's when it starts to get stressful. This little blobule here only has about 2 weeks to grow inside of mama. Opossums are marsupials, and the rudimentary placentas they have aren't enough to protect the babies and keep them safe from their mother's immune system. So, these little parasites get kicked out early. Things start moving quickly around day 9.
You know, I'm suddenly realizing this might be a better option than 9 months and giving birth in the end of August. Yeah, I didn't plan things very well. August. Let's see, October, June, May, January. Yeah, no, I don't know who's out here and who needs to hear this, but I've heard tell that people plan children. Now, I've never done it per se, but I have heard that you can, in fact, plan these things. And let me tell you, avoid August at all costs. 9 months pregnant. I would not recommend, do not recommend at all. So avoid August. Now, again, I've heard tell people plan these things. I've never been able to achieve that, but, you know, again, I'd give that a 1-star review. 900 years pregnant and 900 billion degrees. It's not a fun combo.
By day 11, they look a bit like the love child of Charizard and Casper the Ghost. Looks like a Haunt Me Elmo doll, like a space gopher.
Haunt Me Elmo doll. A space gopher. Okay. I'm learning more about marsupials than I ever knew.
Looks like a tardigrade trick-or-treating as Barney. And by day 13, it's time for these little zombie gummy bears to leave. At this point, they're around the size of a bee and blind. But during development, a few things were fast-tracked to help with what happens next. Those cute little claws there are actually temporary and will fall off. But not until after they've helped the baby crawl unassisted from the birth canal to the mother's pouch.
Serious question. Where is Pearl getting her baby possums? Does she like find a birthing mother and trap them? Because I have questions. Lots of them now.
Ouch. That's 4 or 5 body lengths, and they do it blind. Without sight, they rely on their precocious little snout to smell and feel their way to the nipples. Once they get there, they can use their surprisingly strong tongues to help latch on tight until the nipple inflates inside their mouth to form a tight keel. On average, opossum mommies have 13 nipples. In this case, 13 isn't unlucky. You know it is?
Well, I mean, don't we all have 13 nipples? Including allegedly? You're probably right. If she plays goodbye horses while she's messing with the possums, I'm out.
14. Because opossums will sometimes have more babies than nipples. And in that case, it's sort of like a game of musical chairs. Except, with nipples and to the death. Once they're safely inside the pouch, these flesh bees have time to turn into proper opossum babies. It's cushy in there, not really teaching them independence. And I'll say it, I mean, this is the sort of parenting that leads to spoiled children. You can draw your own conclusions here, but look what happens when they get big enough to leave the pouch. They go straight to the mother's back. And yes, it's cute. I mean, it's great for Instagram, but look at Mom. The face says it all.
As a mom of 6 children, I think Mr. Mo has come home to my face like this. I really and truly believe that he has come home many a times to me looking exactly like this. And then he would get out the trank dart and I would just go to sleep. But I feel this pain. I feel this possum's pain. I know what this is like. I feel seen. You like me. You really like me.
Mother of resting bitch faces right there. So eventually it's time to kick those little f***ers off and let them fend for themselves. Now, I don't know how much fending you've done, but I can tell you that if you want to get your fend on, it does help to have some equipment. They have this bullwhip of a tail covered with these scaly patches of keratin.
Pearl's favorite part of the possum, if you go by how much she, uses the baby oil.
You could mess somebody up with one of those. Whoopsh, take an ankle out. But they don't. No one bothered to teach them that. They end up
Let's see. I have from 10 to 19. Or well, they're turned 19 this year. So everyone is odd except for my January, who's even. So from 10 to 19. I needed a new hobby. I kept, I would go on this cycle. I would have the baby lose the weight, get in shape, and then suddenly another baby. It was real weird.
Using them to carry sticks and leaves back to the den. I mean, I guess they're good for balance, and when they're young, they can hang upside down on them. And by adulthood, they're too heavy. Ooh, didn't see the tree there? But even if they don't have a fearsome tail, they do have old man hands. Like they're born with the hands of a 70-year-old carpenter with the nail fungus, which somehow always seems to look like their shorter finger. They're not, and their back feet look even more like old man hands. They've got a little opposable big toe and butt cheek palms. Palms that are covered in...
Oh no. When the possums learn how to text, what will Pearl do? They'll run their own Instagram feed? Opposable thumbs? This is terrible. They won't need Pearl anymore.
Friction ridges for maximum grippage. Makes for a memorable handshake, a foot shake, but not exactly a weapon. But who needs fearsome claws when you have those teeth, right? Oops, looks like you got a little salad stuck in there. And if you're counting, there's 50 of them, the most of any land mammal. And they've got this bony ridge up top where muscles attach, so they can chew right through the bones of a mouse. But you can't bring a nutcracker to a fist fight, am I right? I am. And at the end of the day, all these open-mouthed, toothy displays are mainly just...
No, let me tell you, that is terrifying if you're driving alone at night and then, is what you see and they make that noise. It's like, and I'm like, I'm trying to get you between the tires. It's a possum.
Bluster. So, overall, a bit short on the defense. I'm telling you, lovers, not fighters. However, let me tell you something. They can stand still. Like those dudes dressed up as the Statue of Liberty busking for change on the promenade sort of standing still. I'm talking mime level shit. You know what my mother used to say? ABC.
And
always
we're
be
not going through their, their sponsor, but if you want to get smarter, go to Brilliant.
This oh shit now freeze response is actually quite common. I bet you've done it. See some jackass friend of a friend come round a corner. Oh shit now freeze. Hope they don't see you. Just blend into the background like a deer caught in the headlights.
Hey, I did that in trigonometry class. I was deathly hopeful that my trigonometry, I lived in hope that my trigonometry teacher, who also had this style hair and possibly also had this jacket, I lived in hope that she, like the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park, found her people, like targeted her victims to answer questions through sight and movement. So I always hoped that if I never made eye contact and didn't move, she wouldn't notice me. Now, she stopped calling on me because I was never right, which, I mean, in hindsight, I could have put more effort into trigonometry. But sadly, no, my trigonometry teacher's sight and questioning was not like a, T-Rex linked to eyesight and, movement.
Just gonna move you right over here. Rabbits, they're good at this sort of thing. Jerry, did we have to buy the footage for this? I mean, it's just standing still. We could have done a photo. No, not now. Well, now we paid for the footage and the still. Damn it, Jerry. Even blind beach snails have the now freeze. Look at the little one. Bumps into a big predatory Agaronia snail and just stops. It works. The big guy senses something but just lunges forward. Anyway, this freezing behavior is normally for when an animal has spotted a threat but still thinks it hasn't been detected, which is a bit of a stretch for this opossum. I mean, it's moving its head as you walk by. But while frozen, the animal is still aware and quite in control, just waiting for a moment to escape. And this is quite a bit different from another defense that the opossum is famous for. You've heard of it. It's often called playing possum. Doesn't tell you much. A bit self-referential. Sometimes it's, Jerry, that's a dog. Sometimes it's called playing dead, and it can certainly look like that. But it's just one example of something that happens all over the animal kingdom that the science hippies call tonic immobility. These animals aren't playing or pretending, though.
This is Z. Frank and Not Dead Possums and Their Weird Defenses. Which, I mean, with a title like that, who wouldn't click? Even if you're not pretending to be the most famous possum YouTuber, in YouTube? I mean, I don't know if in the world is correct. I don't know if there is an Asian counterpart to me, Pearl. I just don't know that she would have a live possum. That was awful. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there are many me pearls of many ethnicities just all around the world, possuming, sending the word of possum to the universe. Intergalactic possum, welcome.
This is an involuntary reflex. It's not really in their control. They stop moving, often in a contorted or death-like pose, unresponsive, and this lasts for seconds or up to an hour. It's usually triggered by being royally f***ed, like if you're in someone's mouth, or grabbed, or restrained, or turned upside down.
And let me go ahead and do the first giveaway. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure Youngest Most Feral doesn't start a fire. And also...
Start a fire right here.
It's a joke, sweetie. So...
Now your mouse is stupid?
It's fine. Yes, apparently my mouse has decided to crud out, but that is okay.
Where's the tiny opossum thing?
If you would like to play with the possums here, I do need to try to do a stream, so if you could give me a second. Okay, now come on. How is it that the batteries go out in this as I'm streaming? This is wonderful and not helpful. I've lost my mouse. And if you happen to be a parent, you know that the likelihood that I'm going to find another AAA or AA battery is less than, anything. Let's see if we can get enough juice to help me. No, I will be right back. Let me get one of my wired mouses. I swear to goodness. If it's not one thing, it's another. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Oh, for the love of Cheetos and Fritos. You know, it never fails. It's okay, Dingle. I got it. Gets and it worked. I'll just have to tell Mr. Mo to get some AA batteries. You know, this hair is actually good. I mean, it doesn't go anywhere. So in the 80s, you were just like 3 cans of Aquanet, and you didn't have to worry about your hair for like 33 weeks, I think. I wouldn't recommend not doing your hair, but you could. I wonder if this would be better than Kevlar.
Or in the case of a chicken when it stares at a line, don't ask. And listen, this response does occasionally seem to help animals avoid death. For an insect, it can actually be part of an escape plan. If you're holding onto a leaf like this wood tiger moth and you suddenly go stiff, you drop to the underbrush and disappear. Same thing if you're flying. Pew! Unexpected. It also might change the calculus of an attack. Battles between ant colonies are usually many against many. So if a vulnerable, soft-skeleton juvenile fire ant keels over, its attacker has to move on to the next fight. There's no time to check to see if this one's faking it. And in the same vein, if you live in large groups, you can use this to throw your friends under the bus. If there's a bunch of you running around and the predator thinks you're immobilized, then it might try for some bonus snacks, giving you just enough time to get away. And stopping a predator from trying to immobilize you can be a huge step towards living another day. Many predators have these instincts to subdue struggling prey, like how a dog shakes violently to maybe break a neck. If you suddenly stop struggling, you might be able to stop the shaking too, or at least get it to tone down a bit. And tonic immobility often does seem to change a predator's behavior. Now, some animals, including the opossum, really seem to ham it up. Sometimes the mouth will be open or drool coming out. I mean, the hog-nosed snake should get a f***ing Oscar. And there's plenty of other excellent performances, and this has led to the idea that these animals are feigning death, or somehow taking advantage of a predator's instinct not to eat long-dead animals. Adding to this is the fact that some of these animals will defecate or exude a gross-smelling substance. The opossum secretes something from there. But a predator would have to be especially stupid to think that an animal they were chasing a moment ago was now a long-dead, rotting corpse. It might just be that it's unappetizing because it's suddenly weird and gross.
Not to speak ill of those that have passed away, but Fry, bless his heart, wasn't all that smart. So, he might have been fooled into thinking the possum was dead alive 1 second, dead the next. And I do have it set up. So for the first giveaway, the Lego, or not Lego, little towery thing. Put hashtag Lego in there. It's not Lego, obviously, but, not Lego. And besides, I did, just for Baker, say Lego. I didn't put the S on there. You should be very proud of me. I mean, it went against all my Midwest, like all of my Appalachia, to just put Lego and not Legos.
Or in some cases, like with this pygmy grasshopper, the pose that they get into makes it harder for a frog to eat them. However it works, it's a good trick, and if you have it, you might bring it out on other occasions. A number of animals seem to go into tonic immobility to avoid the advances of a potential mate. Playing dead is a near universal ick. In the case of this female frog here, it might actually save her life.
I love it. In order to get away from dating, you just play dead. I love it.
Collections of horny males often get into a frenzy and form mating balls. Stop it. And that can be deadly for a female. Now, even though these animals look completely unconscious, they do seem to be able to still process some aspects of the environment. Some will reduce the time.
That sounds more horrifying. Like they just go into like their own happy place and pretend to be dead. I never knew frog relations were so violent. Good Lord. They need, I mean, where's the Gloria Allred of like frogs? Where is like the frog female resistance unit?
But they're in this state if the threat is past or if there's shelter nearby. And if they're lucky, eventually it's time to wake up. Often a bit groggy and out of sorts, on wobbly legs. You know, sometimes covered in stumbling back to the den with some serious explaining to do. No, I didn't go to the bar last night. I'm telling you, there was a fucking dog. You're lucky to have me home at all. Fine, whatever. Sorry I'm late, all right? Now, how about a little makeup say? Oh, now you're playing dead. Great.
Now you're playing dead. Wait, don't. Hey, no, let him down. He does not want to play with you right now. The cat is like, I am done. We do not want to play. Don't throw the possum. Because that's what everyone has to tell their feral child. I mean, what would a stream be without me telling my child to not throw a stuffed possum at the cat? As every mother has ever done. Don't be jealous of my glamorous life. Good Lord. Well, you know, to honor our favorite, beautiful, lovely, it's like looking in a mirror. What in the world is this face? Could her eyes and eyebrow... That's what I did wrong. Okay, so next time I'm going to have to add like string because her eyebrows need to be up here. Okay, that's what. I was wondering why I felt more Dynasty, less Pearl. I just need to right about here eyebrows. Well, Yamaha parenthood is a lot like Of Mice and Men. It really is. Oh, well, of course I didn't put it. How dare I mute our goddess, our supreme, you know, giver of wisdom, Miss Pearl.
Wishing you the happiest of holidays. And like most of you, we plan to celebrate the new year by being kinder, working smarter, and eating better. And also, like most of you, we probably, but never mind. Oh, let us show you this gladsome array of greetings.
I also need to go a little bit tanner. I realize that she has a healthy glow. So we are going to have to... This is just 1.0. This is me getting into, you know, the method acting for this. But we definitely will make improvements because now I know where the eyebrows are sort of mid-forehead, little tanner, better jewelry to match the ensemble.
We've received. This one is from our dentist who never forgets. Unlike ourselves, which reminds me. Oh, and here we have a lovely card from our local realtor. And, well, let's see. Aha! Another card from our other local realtor. All right. Here's a perennial favorite. Season's greetings. The Marsupial Supply Outlet. Oh, it's just all so heartwarming, isn't it? Now, this one we
that makes a
are
lot of
sending
sense.
to Clayton the mailman, whom we so appreciate for not suing after the incident.
Amazon must have a field day with this woman. Can you imagine opening the door and the woman's just holding a possum and like, thank God you got my vest in. Possum had nothing to do or nothing to wear for the party. Probably.
If you try to scratch me, I will smack you in the face.
What better time to remember the elephant in the living room? Yes, indeed. Now, our elephant is here reminding us that the vast majority of possums belong outside. So if you see one there, you leave it there. If you come
Ma'am, I don't think anyone else besides you needs this warning. I solemnly swear upon Harry Potter and Gem from the 90s and the holograms that I will never touch a possum voluntarily. Amen. Yeah, I do believe that your warning of possum, purloining only applies to you. I do believe that you're the only one who needs to be told to leave possums alone.
across an ill, injured, or orphaned possum, contact a professional wildlife rehabilitator immediately.
Miss, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If they are like you, I would call them. If they were like you, I would call them because I think you're hilarious, but it might be a little bit scary to the normies. That is, I believe she put a pine cone on her possum's head for festiveness, as of course you do.
If after all this you're still left with a possum, well, you just love it. Just love it. Just love it. Okay, now please hit the like and subscribe button and tell us in the comments section what the elephant in your living room wants to trumpet about.
Yeah. If you happen to have an elephant in your living room, feed it. Get it out of your house before it uses the restroom.
Won't tell anyone. Possum's honor.
Why is it when she's trying to be normal, she's more terrifying? Like she's just trying to do a holiday video, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a little more spooked out. A little more spooked out. All I'm thinking is that Simpsons episode, see my vest, made of real gorilla chest. Something or other, but I only remember that lyric, but the Mr. Burns song where he goes through all of like the endangered animals that he's killed for fashion. I don't know why I have that going through my head right now, but that's what I have going through my head right now. And get your Lego in, hashtag Lego in the chat. I am doing a giveaway. On my description is my email and Twitter and stuff. Get with me so I can get your address if you are chosen, and then I will ship these out this week. So it is, Baker gets actual Lego, but that's because he lives in the land of Lego. I do not. But it is this cool little flower thing. And I thought it was pretty neat. I hysterically, and I am worried about it. I have this giant Lego cat that looks like Dingus that I'm getting ready to start attempting to put together. I really don't have great spatial awareness, so this is going to be a poo show. I have no doubt. I have no doubt. But it will also be a lot of fun because I'll be streaming it on my craft channel. Everything is good to go on the craft channel. I do need to get a cord, and then just time where I don't feel like my soul is falling out of its body. I had thought that Uvalde was going to be 2 weeks, and it is turning into 3 weeks to forever. So it definitely is one of those things where I'm like, so yeah. And thank you so much, Auntie A, or Auntie M, for the super sticker. Thank you for being Pear. Oh, it's a cute pear. I love it. Thank you so much. Mr. Mo is out on the town since it was middle son's birthday. We have this thing where we take the kiddos out by themselves to eat lunch. So he's taking him to this hibachi place that we like. And thank you so much, Auntie M. And thank you, Paula E, for the battery. Yeah, you know, it never fails as a parent. You have batteries. I think this is the first year that we didn't buy a crud ton of batteries for Christmas. And, you know, it's one of those life things that you always think you have them and you don't. And you don't. Because I think I remember asking Mr. Mo when we were at Sam's Club if we needed to buy a big old pack of batteries. And he's like, we didn't get much toys this year. And thank you so much, Tree 90 Official, for the £5 here late. Nice to see the state getting back on track with this expert witness. Lego are what we're looking into scene modeling next. Thanks for the streams. Thank you so much, you guys. Yeah, we just needed a chance to laugh, y'all. Yes. And MQs, I looked at myself and I was like, oh my God, I shot JR. And then I was like, no more wire hangers. Mr. Mo was watching me get dressed, and I was like, you like me? You really like me? And then I was like, I look like Sally Field from Soap. And I may or may not, I told the chat this earlier, I may or may not have sent a picture with me in my pearl getup with my stuffed possum to my mother, apropos of nothing. So I am waiting for a knock on my door for a wellness check.
What? A wellness check just for a possum?
Yes, that's youngest most feral you hear in the background. I am his unofficial warden for right now, as yes, he happened to show me his baby Jesus figurine. If you are watching this channel, you might need a little bit of Jesus in your life. Gotta love youngest most feral. So hashtag Lego in the chat. And then I will be doing the drawing for the first in the Grift giveaway. I do then have 2 kits, 2 cross-stitch kits. I enjoy cross-stitch, so I figured you guys might like it too. It is a way I have found to be productive before I...
Can we get the show one, please?
What?
The show one, please.
Well, no, it's grown-up Jesus, but it's small. It's a small little Jesus that maybe I should I should just hold on to it. Gabby, I feel like I could go into a salon and be really, really bitchy right now. In this outfit, I feel like I would get attention. I mean, I just feel like I could go to Boston. Oh my God. This is my disguise when I go to Boston. I'll blend. Oh my God, I blend. You blend. This is great. I can go there and I'll be undercover.
I forgot I took this.
Why do you have a packet of sweet and low? Do not eat that. I'm a great mom. You know, I mean, as a mom, if you're not yelling at your child not to eat sucralose or aspartame directly from the packet, I mean, what are you doing with your life? Why? How many, don't all parents have to yell at each other? One of these days I will again I'm beginning to think that me Pearl was not, did not become this woman because of a bitter divorce, but in fact just had feral boy children. Honestly, I shouldn't be in there. If it picks me, I am not going. It put me up there because I did the. All right, hey Tammy, get with me for your address, and I will send those off. Send this off real quick, and the next one we will do is the fish kit. I wish I had pearls. My grandma would have had. Oh. Okay. Well, no worries. Just get with me when you can, Tammy. I have it written down. Let me put a thing on it to remind me, because I've got the Post-it. But you've got a while. I know things are going crazy, so if it takes a bit, it's okay. So congratulations, Tammy. And I am going to put up the next one, and that is... Baker is so much better at doing all of this, like behind the scenes and having it all going. Sorry. So this one is the fish. I thought it was pretty neat, and it could be more masculine other than I was trying to look for things that maybe, if you're like one of my 5 male people, you might be okay with gifting to your wife. But it's definitely an interesting pattern, and I thought it was pretty cool. I can't tell if it's a fish or a bird. Oh, no, it's a bird. That would explain why I didn't quite understand it. Yeah, it's a bird. I was like, what is it? Well, Volstorm, I had my possum, but I'm doing dual work as not only a possum, emissary, ambassador, if you will, but also watching my youngest, most feral child who decided that he would like my possum, which is, of course, a conversation that every parent has to have. Because, of course. So, hashtag bird, even though they don't exist, for the bird kit. And like I said, you guys, now in theory, if you are not a chaotic crafter, you should be able to complete an entire kit with the thread that they give you. Now, I will be very honest and legitimate with you guys. I have never finished a kit without having to buy more thread, but they're about 33 cents to 50 cents at Hobby Lobby, and they have all the colors. Tammy, you won the Lego kit. So whenever you get a chance, and I know you're busy and you've got a lot of stuff going on right now, send me an email or send me a DM on Twitter with your address, and I will send it out. And if you need to wait, it's cross stitch. It's stamped. So let me pull out. It is not counted. And all that stamped means is that you will get a kit like this with the thread in it, but it has been treated with a special dye. So you can look at the colors. You don't have to count anything. I don't do counted cross stitch. I know people can math like that, but that involves counting and paying attention beyond color matching. And I don't do that. So I know that there are people that do counted cross stitch, and God bless them, because that requires a level of attention to detail that I just could not summon to save my life. Now, my Arts and Craft channel, we will be starting our first project after the Uvalde trial. I am doing a diamond painting first, just because I am looking at a different look. Mr. Mo, I'm a level with you. Mr. Mo has said that I can get a brand new fancy schmancy embroidery stand and frame, but I have to get rid of all of my other frames. And the new fancy dancy frame is really, really nice, but it's also a bit pricey, so I am saving for it. So I'm like, okay, that's good. So if I want to get used to getting a new frame, I've got to start getting rid of my old frames and, making things work. So suffice it to say that Mr. Mo and I have negotiated with my, crafting closet of shame, and I am going to be doing, diamond art to get rid of, to do another art thing, but also to kind of make a little, room in my closet. So that is what is up for that. But I will be taking you guys through how you would set up one of these kits and things like that. I have got a lot of kind of tips and tricks. Like I said, I always run out of thread. I mean, I'm sure that if you were like efficient or planned these things, it would work. I just don't. But I'll give you guys kind of what I like in a frame and what I would recommend if what you're looking for. So that's what I'm planning on doing for the craft channel. I just, Tammy, if you want to email me it, that way it's not anywhere, and then I will send you stuff, and then I will be pitching your personal information. I will not be keeping it for anything. I won't be adding you to any Jehovah's Witnesses, websites. Kind of like Baker, I ship it out, make sure you got it, and then I don't keep your info. Alrighty, so possibly the funniest video that she's come up with here lately. I don't know why this one, look, this one is just hilarious. This woman is a genius. Her humor is ahead of her time. That's just what it is. She's ahead of her time. Oh, well, again, y'all, this is why between the children and the cat. Hello, Thor. Make yourself comfortable. He's like, what the hell is up with his hair? He's like, I don't know you. What in the world is going on here? No, please make yourself at home. No, I'm not doing a stream or anything. No, come right on in. Oh, you see that I'm wearing something that is black colored, and you're like, fur. You like fur, don't you? Just all over the place. Everywhere you go, just fur. Yes, I love you. Oh, for the love of Cheetos.
Lately, Parody has been complaining that she's losing her edge living in captivity. And she's right. So I've brought her back into nature to discover her roots. Now, don't listen to this. As you know, possums make bad drunks, but a sober
Yeah, we've often talked about the opioid epidemic, but have you ever heard of Cocaine Possum? The Untold Tragic Story, the Lifetime movie with Meredith Baxter Burney and Annette Funicello. Like you've never seen her before.
possum is a social asset. You can make a sampler pillow out of that. However, recently Parody developed a wee bit of a cocaine problem. Can't imagine where she found it. Well, it's all behind us now.
Badgers are already like hateful and mean and don't give an F. Can you imagine one that is going through detox? Good Lord. I mean, between that and Lorena Bobbitt, I'd be terrified.
It was just a bump in the road. No, here we are. Two happy campers surrounded by other happy campers.
Come on down. It's beautiful here.
What goes on in the villages? I mean, legitimately, I am almost. I think Futurama had the perfect word, scare roused, because I'm intrigued, which can be, but I'm also terrified of what I might learn. I feel like it would be an expose that I wouldn't be the same kind of person once I learned, what exactly happens at the villages. No. If anyone needs to mellow a little bit, it might be this lady. Have you seen her eyebrows? They haven't relaxed since 1976. Those eyebrows have not come down from shocked, surprised since 84. It's been a long, couple decades of being shocked.
In the woods at night. What could possibly go wrong? Well, why don't you go off and explore? Uh-huh. Maybe you can make some new friends. Yes, you are so cute. I just can't believe how cute you are. Yes, you are. Okay, make some new friends. All right, have adventures.
Run as far as you can.
All right, we'll see you later.
Okay, on another note, I really need a lumberjack hat for Thor, because can you imagine Thor and me in flannel being Pearl? Thor's like, yes, I'd love to dress up. I would like to be with mommy all the time. He's like, I love it. I would like my close-up and my other close-up. Oh my God, we look like a Fancy Feast commercial. No, wait, stay here, Thor. I have an idea. 1 second, ding it. Stop being... No. I'm Joan Crawford, and I only feed my cat's Fancy Feast. It's elegant for only the discerning cat. Oh my God, I just need the 80s to come back. I would be such a bitch. Like, central casting for just like any, see you next Tuesday in Dynasty. I'm there. Come on, the 80s need to make a comeback. I can do this. I can make fetch happen again. Or not.
That's right. I will just stay here and soak up the moon.
It really is. But you know, if you go for the dynasty look, it's a niche market, but it's a loyal market. I somehow don't think that's the first time that she's tested a little bit of Colombian booger sugar.
Uh-oh.
All I'm thinking is that you're the postman or a traveling Jehovah's Witness, and you're just walking along and you're going to spread the good news of the Word of God. You know, you're just going there to spread Jesus, and you walk up and you see a woman throwing flour on herself and a stuffed possum covered in fake blood. Do you simply walk away, or are you on a mission? Are you bringing Jesus to these people? Because I'm telling you, I'm taking my fluffy hair and I'm walking straight on past. I I hope so, but I don't know that we have any proof that it is not the real thing. Allegedly in Minecraft.
What have you done? Well, okay. Okay?
Y'all, I'm not saying nothing, but I would watch the hell out of cocaine possum. God, I hope so, because if the other woman who got attacked by the fake possum isn't her friend, I don't know how they met. Can you imagine the casting call? So, I hear you're wanting to get into acting. I'm going to need you to pretend to get unalived by this possum. I mean, I'm sure it's not as weird as some casting couches. You know, yeah, I'd turn right around and be like, you know, the Lord be with you, and I will run away.
We're not going to be discouraged. This happened, but it's a blip in the screen, right? Yes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, so to speak, and look towards a new day.
I feel like this isn't the first time she's had to talk down a possum, which one wouldn't think. Turn your TV into art. No, thank you. But this is a photo I would think is in her room. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm more terrified of the floral stuff. Which, again, says more about me than it does Pearl. But, you know. Ooh. Since we missed Thanksgiving with Pearl, and how could we? How were we so remiss? How did I not know that Pearl existed when it was Thanksgiving? I mean, have we given thanks for finding out that this gem on the weird side of the internet existed? I mean, I think about myself around the Thanksgiving time when I didn't know that there was a woman and her possums having lucid Quaalude trips and inviting the rest of us. I mean, allegedly on the lucid Quaalude trips, but still. Oh, and I always forget to turn on the sound. I'm a professional.
Celebrants of the Possum Trot Festival. You know, Parody Possum and I get so excited when we hear of possum appreciation activities.
Does that possum only have one eye? And I only ask because the one is staring directly into my soul, and yet the other one isn't. What did you do with the possum's eye, ma'am? Blink your one eye if you're in trouble. Morse code. It's long, 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 and then short, short, short. Just, there you go.
But you folks of Alden take it to a whole new level. You know, Parody was kind of hoping that she could be Possum Queen by proxy. She's so cute, isn't she? But we hear that Mary or possibly Susie are the hot tickets this year. Now, our friend John sent us some photos from last year's crowning of the Possum Queen, Nina. And Nina, you looked fabulous, darling, absolutely fabulous. Now, we hear that this year, the chili cook-off, the one to watch is Jean. Seems that you've established quite a reputation in that area, Jean. And
Wait, are these possums? Are these real people or voices in her head? You know, I have been watching her for a while and I still don't know the answer. You're okay, Thor. It will be okay. He's like, no, unlike the possums, I will run away. But he's like, but you have the heater on your chair, so I'll stay.
we are very much hoping to get photographs of this year's festival. Let us give a shout out to the Possum Trot Elementary School and the Possum Trot Airfield of all.
Someone let this woman near children without supervision? With those eyebrows? Again, you guys, I didn't realize I have to cover these up and put them up here. I mean, between God and Nancy Pelosi, how in the world do you get your eyebrows halfway up your forehead? I don't know, but we will figure this out because I feel like I'm almost there. I just haven't quite gotten it.
You must be so proud. Well, we're sorry we can't be there in person or in Possum, but thank you for.
Why is she more terrifying when she's trying to be approachable? Well, not many people do. The boobs of a 40-year-old. Well, that's because they're all mine, and I wonder often why I'm in charge.
For letting us drop by digitally. And long live the grand tradition of the Possum Trot Festival. Isn't that right? That's right. Okay, well, carry on.
Can you imagine her and I meeting up? It's going to happen one of these days. Probably not after she sees my video.
Well, hello. By now, I presume that most of you are proficient in proper possum.
Yeah, no, squirrels are legitimately, I think, trying to kill me. They ate through my brake lines. Everyone, if you want to be included in the giveaway for the bird stamped cross stitch kit, get #bird in the chat. I'm going to be pulling that drawing here after the video. Oh my gosh, I wonder what she does in June. Oh, this year's going to be magical. My first June with Pearl.
Massage and are ready to ratchet up your game and learn the secrets of a successful squirrel massage. Squirrels lead very stressful lives, as you can imagine.
Okay, this, I know that sweater is from the Jacqueline Smith collection from Kmart, and ma'am, salute to you for keeping that sweater alive for 40 years. We salute you.
That running and jumping, the weather alone, and then there's the commandeering of bird feeders, tormenting canines. All of this can result in muscular tension and structural misalignment. And that's where you, as compassionate healer, come in. First, go out and catch a squirrel by whatever means you find convenient. Don't worry about which one, they'll all react about the same.
No, I'm just going to throw out there that I will be staying away from the birds because they're not real. Go to expert for explanations on that birds are not real. He has a diagram. Thor, thank you, Tammy. Thor is beautiful. He knows he's beautiful. He is my non-consensual cuddler. Thor decides that you deserve to pet him until he's done with you petting him. And usually it is when you're wearing black so that he can cover you with fur.
Make sure that your massage area has warm peanut oil, soothing music with...
I feel like we're going to fry something because the only time you get peanut oil in my neck of the woods is when you have a turkey fryer. But continue.
No pesky copyright infringement. A well-stocked first aid kit, along with some other items which hopefully won't become necessary. Now, we're going to stretch our squirrel out on a flat, level surface using a small, firm pillow to support the delicate cervical vertebrae and the upper lumbar region. All right. Now, watch closely so that you will be able to do this yourself.
I'm surprised she hasn't
All
made a
right.
possum
So
headband.
you're welcome. We're taking our squirrel, yes, and we're laying her flat on the...
This squirrel has survival skills. This squirrel is like, I'm running. Probably nothing we should look up unless our name is Let's Go Brandon. Well, no, Major Mom, it gets even more hilarious because Thor, the cat, is in a semi-stable gay throuple with Loki, not his real brother, but a cat named Loki, and Dingus. It's always June up in here. I often look at Thor and Loki, and then I look at Mr. Mo, and I'm like, Mr. Mo, someday you'll find someone that loves you like Thor loves Loki.
Massage. Yes, well, I'm happy to do it for you.
This squirrel is
It
like,
my
get me
pleasure.
the hell out of here.
On the... You know, squirrels have razor-sharp little nails, which can be daunting to even the most seasoned professional. That's why I recommend these heavy-duty, steel-reinforced iron weave feather touch massage gloves. Would you excuse me for a...
That squirrel's been to the island. He's like, oh, hell no, heifer. I know what happens on Little St. James. I done seen things. You pulled out that peanut oil, and I was like, nope. I read the Ken Starr report. This ain't happening.
moment. It is very important to gain the confidence and...
Okay. I mean, when I am the voice of reason, things have gone very wrong. But what is the point of having steel and reinforced gloves if you leave your sausage-like fingertips out for the squirrel to, cut off with its sharp little teeth? Okay.
trust of your subject. And this can be accomplished through simple breathing techniques. All right? Now I want you to breathe with me. We're breathing in with allowance, out with resistance. Do I detect a little resistance left over? Do I? Well, let it go. Would you excuse me for a moment? Get back here, you rotten little rodent! Get back here!
I feel like it. Okay, did anyone watch The Rescuers? Not The Rescuers Down Under, but the first one with like the redheaded, trashy woman. I feel like we're doing a reenactment of that. He's like, look, ma'am, I have seen inside your closets the skeletons, the person in your basement that you keep telling to put lotion on. Allegedly, I'm out.
If your subject still remains fidgety, you can wrap them in a warm, cozy massage blankie. And that will settle them right down for laying flat in the massage area. Failing that, you may need a little extra support to position the body properly. Would you excuse me for a moment? And now I move from the latissimus dorsi down each side of the vertebral column and
You know, this woman and myself are probably going to have pictures up in the local stuffed animal store, you know, like don't sell to us. I can imagine that there is probably a sign next to my Amazon, you know, I don't know if I have like my own Amazon person that like pulls my orders, but I can imagine that there is like some sort of emotional support team for the people that have to interact with both myself and her and our various ridiculous orders. I need a stuffed squirrel for a stream. No, I'm not going to do anything to a real squirrel. I have a real squirrel. That's it. Me and Pearl just need to get together to go shopping for a stream idea. Can you imagine both of us together explaining what we are going to do to helpless cashiers and retail people while they can't run away from us because they are employed and it's their job to listen to crazy, nutty people? I've never felt more sorry for retail workers in my life. I used to be one. Honestly, I would have preferred people coming in to pretend to play Pearl than just be butt monkeys.
at the gluteus maximus and press. Always pull your thumbs, never push, especially with deep tissue work. It may be tempting, but over time you'll regret it. If your squirrel shows signs of expiring on the table, it's best to end the massage early. Sweep out the aura. Sweep it out. Oh, there's a little resistance left. And then release them to process the experience as they deem prudent. In this way, you're sure to find that when the time is right, they'll come scampering back for more. And I hope you will too. All right.
I feel like this is a confession of sorts to a dark chapter in Pearl's squirrel massage life, which is a sentence I never thought I would actually say, but there you go. And now for the bird the bird cross stitch. And K Wood dash X9S. If you want to email me, mointhedeepend@gmail.com, your address. I will get that sent out and your confirmation from my local post office within the week, and then I will get rid of your personal information. So, it's not like I'm weird and I'm trying to keep your address. So congratulations, you get this bird kit. And then for the final giveaway, because I did promise my sons, so I'm keeping this at 2 hours because I promised my sons that I would help them spend their Amazon gift cards. And they're supposed to be writing thank you notes. Look, I don't know if I'm the only mom that does this, but you're not allowed to, spend your gift until you get your thank you note signed. So, Mom, if you're watching, I know I do this, but I still make the kiddos write thank you notes. So, I'm doing slightly okay. And then this kit is a little mushroom house. Again, I realize not everyone is into Sailor Moon, so I try to pick ones that wouldn't be completely Sailor Moony. So if you want to put, let's see, hashtag mushroom, that will be our last giveaway. I need to get better at this, you guys. I am working, to do better, but y'all, Baker does a really good job. Baker's good at this, and I am going to get better because we're going to do this once a month. And that's just, we need some laughs. We need, yes, lowercase. We need some laughs. We need some fun. And I stink out loud at grifting. And I also love giving away and supporting you guys for as much as you guys support me. So it's nice to do this kind of thing to where I feel like, I'm not just like, I don't know. It feels weird to just like beg for money because y'all, I buy groceries too. I get it. Like, we buy groceries. What in the name of, oh, she's got a sweater. Oh, she's toned down. It must have been an off day. She almost looks normal. Like her eyebrows are in like the normal bone structure. I feel terrified, y'all. Oh, for Cheetos, Mo. Turn on sound, then go.
Health if you're a possum? Okay. I got that. All right.
If you want.
Thank you. Okay. La 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 la. Ooh. Blankie.
Are there support groups for parents of ugly children? Little feet go in the air and the tongue lolls out.
Psychic readings by Pearl. Focus instead on assisting your possum with the ancient practice of yoga. Fit that animal into a vest. Prop that animal up on a table and introduce it to fine dining. The opossum.
On a level of Cheech and Chong and Willie Nelson, what are the strengths of the gummies this woman gets? Asking for an interested party who does cosplay as her? I'm just kidding. Again, I just keep wanting to look in the camera and say, I shot JR. I don't know how women in the 80s did anything because this is such a glamour. Like, y'all, I can't stop. I want to do. There was always that. I don't know why it was always the chin or, yeah, seriously, what was this? It's it has its own gravitational force. How did you even get the shirts on? Like, did it flatten your hair and then you had to go back comb it again? Or did you like spray it down and then it held its shape? I have so many questions. It's like not physicsing out for me. Did you turn sideways to get through doors? It's just so poofy. Oh my goodness.
Is this not fetching?
Well, I can always hide the thing under a schmata, but what about you? Oh, we're going round and whoa, sorry, honey.
Fire! Sharp! Ah, bring your opossum to work day. Shake out the strips. Approach the animal. Stick your hand in its mouth to see it.
Wait, what is this thing? Because I feel like it's something that Austin Powers made fun of, but also probably not a pennular pump. But I'm not putting it past her to have one. I feel like she's the weird sexologist that everyone talks to. Like she's Dr. Ruth's younger sister at this moment with a possum for Wait a minute, is that her? Did she pose for this picture? Is this her? Again, it wouldn't shock me if this was a self-portrait done of herself by her and hung up in her living room.
If it will bite. Once you shared the stage with dinosaurs. Jour à la mode.
A couch potato into a, wait for it, a pouch potato.
I like my foot. Ooh, taste. Ooh, Well,
Again, I have watched a lot of these and I don't know if she's laughing with us or laughing at the voices in her head. And it kind of scares me, but I'm kind of intrigued. I must find who did this sketch. I am going to do one myself, you guys. This is happening. The sketch behind the war shot, everything is happening. I'm getting a table. I'm dressing Thor up as a possum.
your opossum may become impatient, so forget it. Eliminate everything extraneous from your energy field. Salamba Sir Asana. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Look this way, look up, yes. One more. I know, but it's for posterity, so just suck it up. And round.
Clear the channel of communication. A prime candidate for cardiovascular exercise. Bring your opossum to a cocktail party. Peeing on your...
Wait a minute. Did she just say peeing?
Bring your opossum to a cocktail party. Peeing on your arm can be effective.
I feel like even Freud is going to shake his head and scratch at this. I don't even think like the Super Friends and the Justice League can figure this out.
Stretch that animal out on a table and do its nails. She became dictatorial. The best as its storms.
This is known as stacking.
The divine Pearl herself
on a golden lily pad.
With an agenda.
Whoa, Nellie! It's an elephant.
You know, maybe DDT was bad. You know, come to think of it, maybe spraying all those chemicals in the 70s was a bad thing. Come to think of it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this Grift and Gift fun stream where we could hang out and not go over the case for a little bit because that was soul draining. But I will tomorrow be going over the excuse me, the Uvalde case, this week, everything. So if you guys want to get in on the last gift giveaway on this Grift and Gift stream, the larger mushroom house kit is in there. Put your hashtag in the chat, and we are almost ready to go with that. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I am glad you guys were here with me to laugh and giggle and have some fun because, you know, you guys, we cover a lot of just not so great things. And I appreciate having a time to come in and look like I, again, shot JR and ask for Vaseline to be put over the camera so I'm not in focus. But I do appreciate you guys so very much. Now tomorrow when I do my breakdown stream, it is only going to be my notes. So we won't be doing, you know, a lot of the testimony and the emotional stuff. It will just be my notes and then kind of where I think we are in the trial and where we might be going this week. So that one won't be as fun. And then for poo and giggles, we might do another stream tomorrow where we look at the opening statements in the Paul, I don't know if it's Cisnero or Canero case, but it is the mansion quadruple slaying. So, you know, a small case for a change, just for a change of pace. I've heard that particular case, the defense is ticking off the judge something fierce. So it might be something to clear our palate from, you know, Uvalde for a bit and look ahead to the future. So if I'm feeling froggy, that's what we're going to do tomorrow, but we will definitely have the breakdown video tomorrow. So I will see you guys there and thank you so much. Let's get this drawn. Keep forgetting that my one mouse is out of battery, so I keep going to it and now it's, you know, and Polly, there you go. So remember, you guys, if you did win the giveaway, good Lord. If you did win one of the kits or one of the items, please email me your address so I can get those out this week. And then, as always, I will be pitching your addresses. I am not going to be keeping them. I will not be signing you up for any furry websites, but I will then send you guys the little number kind of things so you know when your stuff should be on its way. So I should be getting that done this week. And do remember that we don't have any stream on Monday. So we might be looking at the Paul Canero case on Monday just to give us something to do that isn't Uvalde. So have that on your calendars if we don't get it done on Sunday. That we'll be looking at that and fast forwarding through day one, depending on how I feel. And since Nick and I are kind of changing how we're covering Uvalde to only really do the cross because the state has annoyed us. We might be able to do 2 at a time, again, just depending on time. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow and then have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for all you guys' support and laugh and everything. I appreciate it so much. And I just am having a blast doing this. Uvalde is hard, but meeting you guys and having this community open up is so much fun and so great and worth having, you know, people that will sit through a not so fun trial with you Awesome. Now I get to take off the wig. So I will be hanging out with Sal tonight. Sal is doing a 1 year or crud. Was that yesterday or is that today? My brain is yes. No, I will be with Sal at 6 p.m. today. I am a professional, you guys, to celebrate him being sober for a year and all of his wonderful, wonderful work that he and Hella have been doing on the Lauren Matthias case, kind of exposing that she's not so nice a person. Because we creators can only keep up with so much. So I'm glad that there's a lot of us that can cover different things and make sure that people aren't being butt monkeys. Bye, you guys.